Alright, today I'm going to review Frostbitten Mutilated, which you may not be able to read because of the font that's written in. It's published by Lamentations of the Flame Princess, written by Zach Smith, also known as Zach Sabbath and Zach S. And it's black with this silver print stuff. My spine has already, the print's completely fallen off of it. It's fallen off here, even though, and so I'm not happy with the quality of this, with the silver that has fallen off. Inside we have an I Search the Body chart and a events chart. The story in this book, there are a series of events that begin when you enter. And this tells you what happens on what day. These events happen regardless of what the player's actions are. So they don't happen to the players per se. They just happen as the players happen to be getting in the way. That could change the events. So basically, this is a book about a mythical Nordic, Arctic, cold place with Amazons. Amazons and witches. So, the writer says it's kind of heavy metal, but I'm not sure what Amazons and witches have to do with heavy metal, but I never even understood what heavy metal has to do with goth, because when I see goth, I think of Lurch in the 60s playing his harpsichord in the Addams Family. That's the kind of music I associate with goth, and classical music I associate with goth, not heavy metal. But anyway, here's a picture of the mythical world where this takes place, this little section of the frozen Arctic, and how to get there, and then there's a section on the inhabitants. And you'll notice that a lot of this is black with white print, which if you buy the PDF and print it out, that's a lot of ink to do. You're better off just buying the book. So there's Amazons, as I mentioned, Amazons. And there's several different tribes of Amazons. Each one is different. The 13, I find the font that they use for the titles hard to read. In some cases, I couldn't figure out what it is that is supposed to say. Unless it mentioned in regular font somewhere else, I didn't know what it was. The Arsonist is a really cool rival party that the players could run into. And there's crows, and dogs, and brownies. There's frost giants, and goats. Goats are good at fighting trolls. I thought that was a cool thing there. King somebody. Oath. Okay. See, I can't read the font, so I don't know what that says. Some animals, the necro butcher. Lots of interesting monsters, but let's flip past them because snow leopards, serpents. There's these three witches, NPCs, wolves, and then there's the map. So here's the events that happen, and this is a map of the center of the place where the game takes place, with a description of what's on that part of the map. And then here's a key location according to where it is in the map, telling you more about it, about each one. And some of the locations have more detail. This is a pretty interesting thing that I mapped out but never got to use because the players never made it there. And some more locations. There's another one, the Sevenfold Tower. And then there are some new classes. There's the Amazon class, a variation of fighter. And you could play it in one of several tribes that are in the book, or there's rules elsewhere to make your own tribe of Amazons. And every time they level up, they roll a random ability, which could be +1 to hit. That's something fighters get. Every time they level up, they get +1 to hit. Or it could be +1 to any 3 of your saves. Or it could be +1 strength up to your racial maximum. Or could be you have Frazetta armor. You can add your charisma bonus and strength bonus to your armor rating when not wearing armor. So those are pretty interesting abilities. It's an interesting class, and I had a player who was running one. He was having quite a bit of fun with it. And then there's the witch class. Now, Holmes Basic promised me a witch class that I never really got. And of the different variations of witch class, I think I like Pathfinder the best, but I don't like the Pathfinder system. So anyway, this one is a variation of cleric, and so they have maximum spells per level, and they have 6-sided hit dice, though. 6-sided first and then 4-sided after that, like magic users. They have random witch traits. Every level I get a different witch trait, like sour milk with a glance, or corrosive saliva that does 1d4 damage, or forked tongue. They also get a random witch ability every level. Now, this witch ability is a 40% chance it's either a witch or a magic user spell. About 20% chance that it's a witch or cleric spell. And there's other things it could be too. Some of these look more like this book probably should have been a Wizards of the Coast book than an old school book. It may have been it was originally rejected by Wizards of the Coast and then rewritten to be an old school book. Anyway, there's some unique spells that go with the witch class. So it's possible that you may get one of these abilities instead of a spell. So I've only had one player run one of these, and I tried to make these abilities powerful enough to make up for not getting a spell, but I did not succeed because apparently nobody ever ran one again, but that was also because of politics. Yeah, so Snowblind, Web of Thorns. There's some new substances and some survival skills. And here's a really nice thing about how to make a wilderness sandbox. It's a really helpful thing with some random tables, adventure elements, adventure locations, Amazon divination games. Here's how to make a random Amazon tribe that fits with this book. And I search the body thing, and I look closer, and so there's like a picture. Injuries, some random encounters. Rival, how to do a random rival NPC party. That's a useful thing. And there's an index of the book. And the inside cover repeats that map of the center, and even has this little thing here with some recommended reading. If it's not just him, it's other people too. But this here, I can't even read that. The font is just hard for me to read. So I tried to run this at the same time as Weird New World. I combined the two. And most Lamentations modules are designed for low level, first level characters. And I found this did not work for low level. I kept trying to increase the level of the players, but between the Weird New World rules about Arctic Adventures and the rules in this, it was just too hard for the players. And then, so they eventually just gave up on even trying to get to the Frostbitten Mutilated lands on that inside map there. But then, Zach was outed by his ex-wife as being a really, really bad mate. And the accusations against him were so extreme that even though the Amazon character was the player's favorite all-time character in our campaign, he decided he didn't want to run an Amazon anymore. The other players don't want anything to do with anything that Zach wrote, and so this book is just something for my shelf now. I can't use anything from it in my campaigns because of the things in Zach's personal life, which were so horrendous that nobody wants to play his stuff.